So this video is going to be about how to make comics inking and toning. I initially start out by laying out my panels, outlining my panels, and I decided that I wanted to go straight into doing line work on the first panel. So the top panel here, I'm outlining the house, making sure that the perspective is mostly right. I'm pretty loose with my style. And adding little details. I really struggled with this mailbox and getting the perspective right on it, and so you'll see me erase it and draw it again. I moved on to the second panel, drawing Travis. Woo woo, I love Travis. And here I really wanted to emphasize text and styling your text and your text bubbles. It really adds to the page. It adds contrast and it adds visual interest, and so make sure when you're creating your pages to keep in mind like the style of everything, and adding style in your text can really be something that grabs the attention of your reader. So here I went straight into toning the top panel. I skipped the third panel. I was a little intimidated to draw the perspective that I had in my mind, and so I skipped it for now and decided I'll come back to it later. I'm laying in this sawgrass texture brush in Procreate and doing it in like a low opacity and building up layers. And doing the same thing here with the house. There's a texture brush called Wood in Procreate, and so I added that, and it gave like a nice wood texture so that I didn't have to draw it out by hand. It helped to speed up the process. And finally I decided to tackle the third panel. I knew that the perspective was going to be a little difficult to draw it, and so I redrew the box a couple times. I added in Travis's dog, and here this is where I struggled really making Travis stand out. I had to shrink him and enlarge him and outline and all this stuff, and then Willie as well because he's so small, and I really had to make sure that I had everything lined up the way that I wanted it, and at least making the perspective believable, not necessarily accurate, but at least believable to the eye. So here we are. I'm adding in the tone and more sawgrass texture to make the environment look a little more realistic, and then I zoomed out to see the entire page, which I highly recommend. Don't get so focused on tiny details in the beginning. Just lay everything in a ground, flat colors, flat tones, and later you can go in and add other elements. So here my thought was to add in a home just to make it look more like a neighborhood, and then I really got funky here and I played with the texture of the second panel. I really love playing with textures, adding in that splatter paint and this charcoal brush to really activate that space behind the panel. It adds a little bit of emotion to it as well, so be sure to be playful. You don't have to be so straightforward. And here is the final page. So again, just be sure to have fun, play around with different textures and tones, and you can read for free right now on Webtoon. Go to webtoon.com and search Cypress Tales, and episode 1 is there. Be sure to follow, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time in the next video. Okie dokie. Have a good one. Bye.